Good evening, friends. Welcome to a late night edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys and girls, I am a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement experience. And if you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Hey, tonight I wanted to talk to you quickly about Sam the Adventure Man. You know, he was one of the first that started out with Adventures with Purpose, and he resigned on September 16th of 2021, right around that time. Not maybe not exactly that date, but that's the date of his uploaded video of his official resignation. And on my last stream 2 nights ago, I told you I ran out of time because this old man has to get into bed when it's a work night. So it was Thursday night into Friday morning, and I wasn't able to show you this stuff. And I wanted to be a man of my word and continue and show you guys uh, Sam the Adventure Man, his part in his resignation from back in September of 2021. So I want to first say thank you to the replay viewers, the channel members, the Patreon supporters, the moderators, and all the new subscribers and returning subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for being, such great friends in the true crime community here on Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Hey, you guys are what makes it a great place. So I give thanks and praise to each and every one of you. And I mean, without you guys, we couldn't have done this. We couldn't continue to do this without the great input coming from folks like yourself. Um, so, uh, you know, again, this is another angle and a different aspect to this that I ran out of time the other night. I don't know by a show of hands who caught my Thursday late night live stream going into Friday morning, but I kind of ran out of time and I felt like Sam the Adventure Man, his son Kyler. I believe Kyler was the first to resign from Adventures with Purpose. And there's a video that I'm going to play about that. And I just want to get you guys' opinions on it. And listen, if you've watched this stuff, if you've seen it already, we're just going to break down little parts of this video. And I want to talk with you guys about some of the things that Sam the Adventure Man, he he says under no uncertain terms that he was duped by Jared in Adventures with Purpose. He was fooled just the same way we all were fooled by the presentation. So let's take a listen because this is a completely different angle um, than what we're currently dealing with. Again, he had no knowledge of any alleged sexual misconduct or sex crimes that Jared is alleged to have partaked in. So he left for different reasons that are telling. And you know what's telling about it is that I don't think anybody really paid close attention, or the amount of people that paid close attention to what Sam said back on September 16th of 2021 were very limited. It was a limited amount of people. Certainly not 3 million people who are or were at one time subscribed to Adventures with Purpose. So it's an interesting aspect to this thing. So let's say hello to a couple people. Matty Boy Sully, a great friend. We just passed on Friday, Veterans Day. So thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. You know, freedom doesn't come free. So thank you to all the vets. Appreciate you guys. And thank you, Joey Brooklyn, and all the different mods that are piling into this room. I greatly appreciate you. Really need you in situations like this. So let's let this roll. I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to listen to Sam the Adventure Man. And remember, I'm going to link his channel down below in the description, but this is from September 16th of 2021. September 16th of 2021. Aussie J is here. Hello, Miss Donna Marie. Loco, Moco, hanging in here. Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming in late night. All right, let's let this rock and roll.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sam the Adventure Man. I just wanted to take a moment to publicly announce that I will no longer be working with Adventures with Purpose. As far as why, I've decided at this time not to really get into that. And I might in the future, but as far as the here and the now, I'm just going to take a moment and get my head right. Anyway, guys, I wanted to say thank you for all of you who've supported me as I've done work with Adventures with Purpose. You guys have come over to my channel, donated to me to help, pay my way while being on the road. But due to some things, I will no longer be continuing to work with them. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to be the first to tell you that. And again, thank you guys. I love you guys. I greatly appreciate you guys. As far as my channel and where I'm going to be going with that, I'm just going to take a moment, regroup, catch my breath, go for a hike, maybe take the boat out. And then after that, with my son and my girlfriend Renee and maybe some other friends, I plan on getting back into doing cleanups or continuing cleanups. I've always done cleanups even before YouTube was a thing, and also doing missing loved one searches, which is something that I also did before I was ever on YouTube. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a moment, get my head right. Thank you guys for your support. Again, I'm not sure if I'm really gonna be getting into, the reasons at this time. But as far as, for me, I'm just gonna wait a moment, let the smoke clear, and just do what's right and healthy for me. I've really enjoyed, the work, bringing people home. Getting to know people, just really serving others. That has been absolutely amazing. But the fact of the matter is, I was doing that long before I was on YouTube and long before I was with AWP. Anyway, guys, once again, thank you so much for supporting me. I love you guys, and watch out for upcoming videos or live streams, or definitely still want to do good in the world. I have a lot of equipment right now. I'm not going to let that go to waste. And again, I'm grateful for the chapter. I did a lot of cool things. I helped a lot of people, met a lot of good people, and more importantly, I don't necessarily know more importantly, but also, I got to meet a lot of you guys. So thank you guys for your support, and watch out for upcoming videos.
So that was Sam's early statement on September 16th, 2021 is when that was uploaded. And, he really didn't say much other than he was resigning for personal reasons. And, it left a lot of people just, kind of wondering and hanging in the bag. He went on to do another video on October 24th of 2021. And, again, he publicly claims that he got so much backlash for the second video that he did. It caused him a great amount of stress on not only himself but his family and the people that surrounded him, including his son. And he was vocal about how this video, actually caused people to come out and attack him personally. And it was kind of like this mob mentality that was going after him. And, a lot of people weren't privy to this, but he was living it on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, at one point, he took this video that I'm going to show you down. Now, this is 21 minutes long, so I don't think I'm going to have the time to play this video in its entirety, but I'm going to certainly listen to a decent amount of this video with you all. And I want you to pay close attention to some of the things that he talks about here, because me, as a retired investigator or retired detective from the police department, there's some really key takeaways on things that Sam the Adventure Man talks about with Adventures with Purpose. And he talks about not feeling comfortable with the business model of Adventures with Purpose. And this is October of 2021. So I found this fascinating and at the same time very troubling that this was mentioned, and this was kind of dismissed by everybody that was following and engaged with Adventures with Purpose. This was kind of just swept under the rug. And he made this statement on October 24th, along with the uh, former videographer who was working with the team. So let's take a listen to this, because I found this interesting, to say the least.
I've really struggled how to even go about this. I've wrestled in my mind back and forth. I keep on coming back to the same place, that the public needs to know. Many people here on YouTube and on Facebook, they believed in the cause, they believed in us, they believed in what we're doing, they believed enough to contribute. I've had so many people reach out to me saying, let us know what's going on, what happened, why did you leave? And since I was involved, I have the social responsibility that I need to let them know. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And for me to remain silent would definitely be wrong. And I can't have that on my conscience.
So this was a live stream that he did.
I'd like to start out just by publicly acknowledging that this is probably one of my weakest points, public speaking. This isn't easy for me to do. This isn't something that I've really wanted to have to do, but I know that it needs to be done. As I'd stated, I couldn't go on with my conscience knowing that, I had the power to say something and I didn't. So I want you guys to bear with me as I struggle through my words. And with that being said, I just want to start off by saying, I don't want any whatsoever AWP bashing. The fact of the matter is, they've had a lot of great results. They found people, they've brought people home. A lot of you guys wouldn't even know who I was, without Adventures with Purpose. I'm incredibly grateful, for my time with them, with Jared, and it was amazing. We really did do some amazing things, but a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes just didn't sit right with me. A lot of the, what seemed to be people's motives also didn't sit right with me. And so, with that being said, I just do want to say that I am thankful for my time with Adventures with Purpose. I don't want any bashing. I love those guys. And I hope that if anything, that this will encourage them. And this will be met as some kind of encouragement to, get them to go to the next level so that they can continue the work.
So I want to just preface here that this is on October 24th, 2021. He is trying to be as politically correct as he could be at this point. And again, this was in 2021, in October. So just a little bit over a year ago. So just want you guys to know that are listening that this is him early on in the separation, in his resignation from Adventures with Purpose. Vampy, thank you for becoming a member.
Jared's extremely brilliant, and I believe in him. And I love the dude. I sat close to him all the time. We were in the RV. I knew him well for 2 years, or I got to know him, I should say. Anyway, but with that being said, I'm thankful. And I also, in my opinion, with all the money that's come in, I thoroughly believe that you could probably fund 10 AWPs. with the whole bit, the trailer, the gear, just everything. I don't feel that the money is actually being used appropriately. I feel like the image of being broke is constantly put out there and put in the public's face, saying, hey, we're broke, we need tires, we need you to send money so that we can get tires so that we can go help this family. When, from everything that I saw, that's clearly not the case. And I mean, not the case in a big way. The image of being broke, it's being used as a vehicle, in my opinion, to get more donations. And that's how, this has mostly been funded. And also, shoving cameras in the face of grieving people who are at their lowest point in their life, and then being in a situation where they're constantly seeing that image of either them or their loved one constantly being marketed. That to me does not sit right. That is not good with my heart whatsoever. I started doing search and recovery 12 years ago when nobody was watching. I actually have a heart for this, and I believe that my heart was used to put out this beautiful image to the world, but in my opinion, it's just an image. So shoving the cameras in people's faces, that wasn't good for me. These people are broken, they're sad, and then to be forced to watch time and time and time again, through various different medias, their loved one being paraded as if there's some hunting trophy. Yeah, that did not sit well with me. Again, I apologize. My words aren't real good. How I've seen people treated in our group. Within our group, how I saw people treated. That was not good, in my opinion, and also the treatment of others. In my view, that things were not all that good. And I just wanted to say, I've been silent, for like the last, month, almost 5 weeks. I just had to take a moment, get my thoughts together, figure out, how do I even, present this to the world. Some legal counsel was sought, to understand, the wording and how to say things correctly, because I don't want to find myself in a lawsuit, or that has been part of the reason why things have been so quiet on my end. So I do want to take a moment to, apologize. Many of you guys reached out with your messages and your encouragement, and some of you guys with your challenges. I appreciate those too. But so many of you guys actually reached out to me. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I had so much support in the world. Just a regular dude. That can barely speak. And I just want to say thank you guys for your encouragement. With all these things going on, that I saw, from my view, what was going on with the money, how people were, being exploited, the image of being broke. Hey, we're broke, send us money. Just all of these things that I saw going on. I came back to the point, well, let me see if Jared even respects me. Let's see if he respects me. I think maybe about 8 months ago, I really don't know, he started putting out images of me and a few other people in his, with the stickers. He had stickers and pins and different things, and he was selling these things. He never asked me. He never cleared it with me. He never said, hey, Sam, do you mind? But, I let it go because, to me, that wasn't really that big of a deal. And I'm sure he was probably only making, a few $100, off of that, just my image alone. And then finally, I said, I want to see if this guy even respects me. I couldn't get back in that RV to do another trip without having this conversation. And so I reached out to him. This was me testing the waters. I reached out to him to test the waters, saying, hey, Jared, I'm not really, I'm a volunteer. I'm not making any money. Things are tight. I have kids. I love helping people, but I need to make a little something. As a volunteering with him for over 2 years, helping him bring 8 people home, but more than that, helping his business grow and thrive. I felt that it was, it wasn't like a wild conversation for me to have with him, saying, hey, Jared, can I have a piece of the pie? But it wasn't like any piece of the pie. It was specifically the piece that had my face on it, the stickers and the pins, and not the whole piece, just a portion. And his response to me was very curt, very short. He didn't speak to me as a friend that I've known for 2 years. He spoke to me as a, let's end this relationship here and now. Best regards, Jared. In fact, those were his words. Let's end this relationship here and now. This 2-year friendship. I didn't know him before YouTube. I seen him on YouTube, and just like many of you, I reached out to him to volunteer. And I told him, hey, I've been doing search and recovery. I'm a rescue captain. I have these skills. I'd love to put my skills, to use. And so, yeah, so that was my, introduction to Jared. And then after, years, I thought, man, maybe let's see if he respects me in this matter. But he said, no, he just dropped me. he dropped me hard and fast. And I was just like, wow. But I wasn't surprised, because in that time I'd seen him do that with many other people. And my hope in putting this out is actually, talking to you, Jared. I know you're watching this. I know your people are watching this, man. I love you, dude. I still love you. You're doing great things in the world, man. You have so much potential, so much capability. You're skilled, you're smart, you're brilliant, man. But you and I, man, we know where we're coming from here. We know our motives, but I don't know, just maybe try coming over to the motives of love, man. I'm telling you, brother, from me to you, man, I love you. And I hope that this will strike a chord with you. And I hope that it'll help you level up and your people level up to where all that money can truly be used for good. Anyway.
And you could see that Sam is pleading to Jared to change. He makes this plea, looks straight in the camera, and he's talking to Jared. October 24th, 2021, asking him to change his ways. And fast forward to today, we can see that this didn't change at all. So, again, I just want to, let you guys know that this was from the past. This was him speaking directly to, and he even said that he loves him. He still loves Jared. He went on to be attacked brutally online, by email, by text message, and you'll hear Sam talk about this in another video that I'm going to share with you guys.
I don't know, what do you think, Dan? Do you think I covered everything, or you want to say a little something?
Now, if anybody here has been following Adventures with a Purpose from the beginning, this is Dan. He was their camera guy. He was their guy who started out with them. So let's take a listen to what he has to say, because he has a lot to say here too. So listen to Dan talk.
Yeah. Adventures with Purpose, really, when I became a part, the first time I started working with them, on paper, it was the dream job for me. I really was attracted to everything they said to be, their mission, everything about it. But as time went on and we grew and we got bigger, it seemed like there was a big shift within. And with big numbers comes big money. And that's totally okay. But we maintain the same image of, hey, we're hardly making it. We're hardly going along the road. And that really just didn't sit well with me. I've had the last several months to reflect on all of this. And in that time, I've been able to realize that, yes, I left Adventures with Purpose because I was blown out. I was tired of working. But more than that, I really was struggling morally with how we were handling things. It didn't feel like the honest operation we once were. It seemed like we had an ulterior motive. And it took me a long time to fully come to terms with that and realize that I was a part of this. But truly, I do believe it is within my responsibility and Sam's responsibility to speak out about what we both felt. And yeah, before Sam had announced he was leaving AWP, I really didn't know if anyone else felt the way that I felt. So I never really said anything about how it was bothering me morally, what everything's turned into, how we are using people's suffering to just profit. That didn't sit well with me. And I think with time, with every video I made, it just more and more felt more routine, more like, hey, what can we do to make more money? Not what can we do to help more people? What can we do to make more money? What's the best business decision? Things of that sort. And I don't know. It's hard to.
Yeah, this is very telling, and these are signs. Like, I have to admit, at the time in 2021, I never saw this video. And by a show of hands here in the chat, how many of you guys watched this video back then? I'm just curious because I didn't see it back then. Like, we're all engulfed. I'm creating YouTube videos. I'm a content creator covering true crime. So I was busy covering cases at that time. October 24th, Gabby Petito that story was out there. And this was during that time. So I never saw this. If I watched this video, I would have thought quite differently of Adventures with Purpose, and I would have been suspect of them. So it looks like we're, mixed. There's some Facebook people from the Facebook groups checking in saying they never saw it. There's some people saying that they did see it and unsubscribed. Some people are saying that they saw it, but didn't really act on it. And I would imagine that there is probably a certain amount of people who saw this and just didn't believe it or didn't want to believe it. So quite a bit of a mix here. But Dan, the cameraman, said that he felt it, but he was afraid to say something. And when Sam came out, he joined forces with him. It's almost like the Me Too movement, so to speak. People wait, victims of crime that are committed against them sometimes wait for others to speak out. And I think that was a little bit of what happened here. So let's continue with this because there's a lot more. We're almost 3/4 of the way done here.
Talk about this type of thing. Yeah. But I definitely feel as though this needs to be said, this needs to be done because it's within Sam and I's responsibility. And I don't think either of us could live knowing what's going on behind the scenes. There's so many people being deceived, donating every month, thinking that this money is going towards AWP to keep them on the road. And yes, I'm sure some of it's going to that. But in my opinion, there seems to be a lot more than that coming in. A lot more. And it just hurts my heart to know that so many of these beautiful families we were helping are contributing money they hardly have to Adventures with Purpose, thinking that this is like their way of contributing to something bigger than themselves. Same way people will contribute to their church, that type of thing. It feels like you're contributing to something greater than you. And for a lot of people, that means so much. And to know that people are living on this assumption of this is going towards a good thing, when in actuality, I think it's something that we should be skeptical about.
Yeah, so he said it really well there. I want to say thank you to Run the World for the super sticker, Dr. Ed and Julie. Thank you, Dr. Ed and Just Julie. And also, I highlighted all of these. Kachada T, thank you for the super sticker. This is, again, telling information that was clear and present right in front of our eyes. And a great deal of us just either didn't see it, ignored it, or watched it and chose not to act on it. And then there are some who saw it and acted on it. So let's listen in for the rest of this.
I think people just deserve to know that there isn't this amount of honesty and integrity that initially appears with AWP. the way that they present themselves. And I think Sam and I are here to present that, just question things. And beyond just informing the people, I think really the main motive of this video is to encourage Jared, everyone that's a part of Adventures with Purpose currently, to question what does an honorable operation look like? What does a like transparent operation look like? Is it a nonprofit? Or is it simply just saying, hey, please donate? Not all of this money is going towards AWP, but it's greatly appreciated if you do. We're doing good things.
Yeah.
And just really tell the full truth.
Yeah, I'm not against people making money. I'm not against people making a lot of money, but I am against people pretending to be broke and asking for money, and that's their vehicle to wealth. I'm not. That doesn't sit. That, you know. So yeah, and so like to piggyback on Dan, same sentiment. You know, what does an honorable operation look like? You know, it's been proven that you can leverage YouTube and social media to be able to help people. You know, with that being said, I'm just going to briefly touch on this here. I'll have another update soon, next week or so. But I'm actually in the process of putting, you know, my own gear together.
Hey, I just wanted to stop it there because I see people communicating with Kyler in the chat, but I personally don't see him. I'm not sure if he's on Facebook, but I just wanted to come on screen and say hi. Hey, Kyler, it was a pleasure chatting back and forth with you today on Instagram, and I'm so glad that you're here or watching, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook. Sometimes if you don't authenticate on Facebook with StreamYard, then we can't see your screen name. But that's Sam, the Adventure Man's son. Kyler, he's got his own YouTube channel. It's all linked down below in the description in this video. Sam, the Adventure Man, Kyler's channels are all linked here. So thank you for being here, and thank you for joining. So I don't know if this is him, but that's how it shows up. I just highlighted it on the screen. It just comes up as Facebook user. If you don't authenticate with Facebook through StreamYards, that's how it comes up. So I have to assume that that's him right there. So hi, Kyler. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Oh, there he is. I see him now on YouTube. There, I highlighted his account. If one of the mods can put that in the chat, a link to his channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, so it was him on YouTube. All right, very good. All right, at least I was right with figuring that one out. All right, let's let the rest of this play. So this is Sam on October 24th. Sam, the Adventure Man, and Dan, the cameraman, all former at this time Adventure with Purpose team members. This was the second video after Sam's short 2-minute resignation video, and he did this with Dan on the boat. So let's take a listen. We're almost done.
I have a lot of things that have been donated to me. And so with that being said, I'm not going to let that gear go to waste. I have different people. You know, there's Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle, Kyler, my son, you know, Renee, my girlfriend, Kevin Nomak. There's been many people that have reached out to me, you know, that want to help. And so we're putting together a team. And so if you guys can find my email in the next video, I'll put my email link. This video here, there's no donations, no monetization, there's nothing. We just want to get this message out. For the next video, I'll have a link to my email. And I'd like, you know, if you guys have any ideas on how to run this in a clean manner, because with YouTube and leveraging social media, which, you know, I'm not really good at, you know, being a face man, but I can definitely put something together. You know, what's a good way, and you know, using this platform, you know, for good and true good, and how can I maintain, you know, what's that word? Social, where I want to be accountable. I want to be accountable, you know, to the donors. I want to be accountable to the members. I don't want you to. I mean, yes, there is life that I'm going to have. I do need to pay my way, but at what point does that become too excessive? So, but that's going to be another conversation in the future. But yeah, just like Dan said, what is accountable, and by no means do I want you guys to go over to AWP and start bashing. If anything, I feel like that they need encouragement. They need to be encouraged in the right way. I love those dudes, and I really, this was hard, but for me it just got too commercial, too commercial.
Mm-hmm. And that's our opinion.
Yes.
You are entitled to your own opinion.
I want to stop it right there, because this is their opinion, but I want to say, what better opinion to get than someone who is, these are two men of integrity that were Dan, the cameraman, the videographer, I can't say the equivalent of Josh, but in the same role. And then Sam, who was the first guy, the first face that we saw from Adventures with Purpose, right? So this is a great testament and a bird's eye view of what is going on behind the scenes, October 24th, 2021 and earlier. Sam, the Adventure Man, is here in the chat. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'm bringing this attention because it needs to be brought. Thank you, Aussie, for the super love. I appreciate the super chat. Let's listen to the rest of this, folks.
We're not making this video to seek what's the word? We're not trying to look morally superior by making this. That's the last thing we want. We just have struggled living knowing what's going on.
It's been hard. I've been so anxious. The moment that me and Jared broke ties, I could feel like just this lift, this pressure just lifted off. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to be fake. I don't have to, put on a camera voice. I can be real. I don't have to, so the moment that, that broke. But with that being said, Jared, man, I love you and I have love for you. And I really would love to see, you going, in a positive way. And I hope you are successful with that. I wish you well and your family well. You're doing great things, but I hope that you can level it up. And if you have my phone number, you know where I live. If you ever need to reach out, let's talk. But brother to brother, it'd be wrong for me to not call you out on this. I tried in private, I tried amongst our group, and now this is the bigger group. But not only is this the bigger group, these people also, they needed to know what was going on, brother.
So I got to point out that he just said to us, he just said here that he tried in the private group. He tried to reach out to him, probably right straight to his cell phone. Listen, I have Jared's cell phone number. So Sam is saying that he probably tried to reach out to him. He's definitely saying he tried to reach out to him privately before going publicly. And he forced their cards to talk about this. And Sam's in the chat. I know his son's here. They can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think that Sam seems like a man of integrity and a decent human being, and Dan as well. And I believe that he reached out to him and tried to speak to him, but he was just ignored after that dismissal. So let me know in the comment section if anybody knows, more than I do. If Sam is still watching, I know he said he's driving. Let me know in the comments or down, in the comment section below or in the live. Let's let the rest of this play. There's only a couple more minutes here.
Everybody makes mistakes, but let's see if we can get that back on track, or perhaps get it on track to begin with.
Yeah, this is the first time this has ever been done in the history of the universe. No one's ever had an AWP, so yeah, I think it's inevitable being the pioneer of something that mistakes are going to happen.
Yeah, man, you're brilliant, dude. You got it.
So, yeah, I think really everything we need to talk about.
All right, guys, and Jared, so I'm not going to look at my phone for a couple days. I know you're busy. You're doing great things. Please go over and actually give AWP their congratulations. They recently found somebody else on this trip. Has been absolutely amazing for them. They've really been knocking it out of the park. So I just hats off to you and the crew. So from me to you, man, keep up, keep doing the good work, but maybe clean up some of that other stuff, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love you.
we love you, and we commend you for everything you're doing. You're doing good in the world, but I think you could just get you got a little off track, and we're hoping this can bring you back on track.
Yeah, and thank you for what you've taught us.
Yeah, we wouldn't be nowhere without you.
No. All right, brother.
Thank you.
Maybe on that note, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for putting up with us as we stumble over our words.
We're not the speakers.
Yeah, we're not the speakers.
All right, so that was pretty genuine. It was very genuine in my opinion, and they seemed a bit uncomfortable there. But you know, they're better men than me, because at the end of it, they basically still told them at the end of this 20 some odd minute video that they loved them. So let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. So those were both September 16th, Sam, the Adventure Man's resignation officially from Adventures with Purpose, and then an explanation followed up the next month in October 24th. That video was live streamed October 24th, 2021. So I have Sam and his son Kyler, who was here in the chat a little while ago. They made a statement together, and then Sam made a statement himself. So I'm going to go to the original. This is just from a few days ago. Let me just look at the date on this. 3 days ago. So this is from 3 days ago, and I know most of us have seen this. I played a little bit of this, but I got cut off because I was on a time frame. So I got a little extra time tonight. So I'm going to play this. Hold on a second. Let me cue it up to where. All right. Yeah, I got it. So this is 15 minutes. But I think, most of the important parts of this are said right out front. So let's take a listen. This is, now we're fast forwarding from October 24th, 2021 to now, 3 days ago. So let's take a peek and let's listen to what Sam had to say after this recent discovery of the alleged sexual offense of rape of a child, 9 years old, by Jared. He stands accused. He's innocent until proven guilty, obviously, as we always say. But this is Sam's response to that. Fast forward.
Just want to make sure. Yes. You guys can hear me. Okay, real good. So we'll get started. First off, my computer just crashed. Looks like my computer crashed, so we'll just be doing it from here. I've been getting a lot of people, reaching out to me, asking me questions. All types of questions, but I've also had a lot of people reach out to me and apologize. As many of you guys know, over a year ago, I stepped away from Adventures with Purpose. It was a very tough time for me. I loved helping the people, but I just hated what was going on behind the scenes. And with that being said, these things that were brought to light or that have been brought forth this weekend, I didn't know about them until this Saturday, just like many of you guys. I left due to, the way that people were treated in other ways. I left because of the way that I was treated. There's many things that didn't sit well with me. And just a moment ago, I spoke with Dan. Dan said that he's going to come into the comments. Dan would also like to let the world know that he was unaware also. He's at work, and he's a young fellow, and he really doesn't have time or at the moment to really be here. And our hearts with you, Dan. Anyway, with that being said, this last year had been extremely hard for me. I experienced a lot of hate from the mob that came after me, whether it was through emails and texts and messing with my people. I actually feel, like a big weight has been lifted off of me because I know now I no longer have that pressure.
So again, he's talking about that last video that we just showed. The last video we just showed. That was the response that he got from posting that video. And that's what's really sad about this. I'm just going to come back on for a second here. A couple of people were messaging me. He's telling us here 3 days ago, this is in 2022, this is just 3 days ago, that he got attacked for speaking out. And people just didn't want to believe him and just attacked him. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit and then come back to this and let you guys listen to this. This is insane.
That came after me, whether it was, said, this last year had been extremely hard for me. I experienced a lot of hate from, the mob that came after me, whether it was, through emails and text and messing with my people. I actually feel, like a big weight has been lifted off of me because I know now I no longer have that pressure. A lot of you guys are upset with yourselves. And I'm saying, don't be, because I was fooled too. I was duped as well. I just happened to be closer to the individual. And with that being said, I was able to see it, the character much sooner than you guys were. This is a very, very, very quick live stream. And, for those of you guys who have been, reaching out to me, apologizing, saying that you're sorry. Hey, sorry, Sam, we doubted you. Hey, we treated you bad, or we crucified you. I just want to say, hey, we're cool. You guys didn't know, you guys are forgiven. It's water under the bridge. It's fine. The biggest issue at this moment, or rather where I'd like to, deflect the attention to is to, the survivors that have come forward and may continue to come forward. I encourage you to come forward if you haven't already. You have many, many people that are supporting you and that you don't know about. We stand with victims. We stand with the survivors, rather. I prefer to call them survivors. And me, I do not condone violence. I do not condone, I'm going to say the R word to everyone. I don't condone rape, sexual assault, none of that. I am not under contract of any shape or kind whatsoever. This is all me. This channel belongs to me. I'm not answering to anybody, and I do not, under any circumstances, condone sexual assault of any kind. That doesn't happen here. It doesn't fly. I'm really upset about it, to be honest with you. I'm upset about the whole thing. Just to have been, that close to, the character, and then getting to know him. I found Jared Lysick to be repulsive. That absolutely repulsive. I didn't know how deep it was or what it was, because we never had that conversation. We weren't just out there driving, and I wasn't like, hey, Jared, do you like kids? That didn't happen. Tell me about your shady past. That didn't happen. I was unaware of these things. I left because of what I had saw and seen on my trips, happening in the interactions there. My understanding from what I've done, or the homework that I've done, is this stuff started to come out last February. I left at the end of summer. So I was far removed from this. Had I known anything of this kind, I would have left immediately. And with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know, a lot of people are looking at me, Sam, is this why you left? No, this isn't why I left. But had I known, I would have gotten out much sooner, and the fireworks would have been much bigger. With that being said, I want you guys to know that I wasn't the first person to leave. This is a story that you guys don't know. Actually, my son, Kyler, he came out on a trip with us. And during that time, he was just so, I don't know, Kyler, you can come in here. I'll introduce you real quick. I'm going to let him tell his story. We're actually going to go and, he's going to tell his story. I'm going to wrap up my piece. He's going to tell his story over on his channel. So mods, if you're here, go ahead and drop the link. This is a separate thing, and I just want Kyler to make sure that he feels comfortable on his own channel where he can talk and he can be freely or speak freely, because there's a lot of things where he was like, Dad, I don't know if I can say that on your channel. But we're going to go over to his channel. He's going to speak his piece. He's going to speak his mind, because he actually left during a trip. He was the canary in the coal mine. We were on a trip and he left. he said, and I'm gonna let him tell his story. And that really just
So that this was new, never released information as far as Kyler's leaving Adventures with Purpose before his dad. That's eye opener. That's an eye opener because his son saw things that his father didn't see, and I'm sure that opened up his eyes. And then again, families stick together, and sometimes we, as fathers, as parents, we need to rely on, like, I have two sons and I value things that they tell me. And Kyler was the hero here. He alerted dad to some really effed up behavior. And we're going to take a listen to that next. So I'm going to let the rest of this play because this is unbelievable.
like through was a rude awakening. I don't even rude awakening. It was an awakening for me. So a lot of people are like, oh, Sam, you were the one that, that called it out first. Actually, it was Kyler. And then Kyler, just me and him, we talked about it. I was already, losing interest, with Jared and with AWP due to Jared. I loved helping the people. So I was always torn, I wanted to help people, but I just couldn't promote this guy anymore. As many of you guys know, I've said that I have over like 40 episodes worth of content from my trips on Adventures with Purpose. I never made those videos because I didn't want to promote this individual. I seen his character, I saw who he was, and for my morals, the things that are coming out now, not meaning the rape indictment. I didn't know about that, but other things you guys are learning about him, from different channels and different people that have spoken and came forward. Anyway, so guys, this is my son. I had no idea about these things that have come forward, and to the survivors, we stand with you. We stand with you. We stand with you in a big way. And if you guys have been affected, be it this huge and egregious or small, come forward, speak your piece, speak your mind, just get it off your heart. And, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting, the survivors. Thank you for supporting the fellow channels. A lot of channels have spoken and came forward. These a lot of these channels are separate entities. I want you guys to understand that. AWP, YouTube is a form of social media. In the happenstance of AWP, it was owned and ran by Jared. So when people say AWP, they mean Jared. Mm-hmm. I wasn't around Doug enough to really get to know him on a deep level. I wasn't around Carson enough, or Josh, or Nick for that matter. So I can't really speak on those guys. I can only speak on what I know and what I experienced. And my experience was the dude was effed up in a big way. In a big way, and anyway, so
we're going to play Kyler's live right after this. So everybody just stand by for it. Thank you, Penny Lane.
Yeah, it was everything that I spoken about before in my previous video. The truth about Adventures with Purpose is back up. I took it down because I was getting first off, I was getting hassled, but then my people started getting hassled, meaning my family members. And I was just like, hey, YouTube's not worth, my family members and my loved ones losing sleep at night. I do want to say thank you to my family, for the encouragement. Thank you to Kyler. Thank you to, Kevin Nomot. Thank you to Brock the Rock. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to you, a lot of you guys, for encouraging me, and a special thanks to my girlfriend Renee. Thank you for being there for me and encouraging me along the way.
Yeah.
And now that this vicious, ugly mob is out of the way, or has been exposed, I'm dancing free.
Amen to that.
And my channel is gonna. I'm still kind of in working on some personal issues, a lot of health issues and different things. As you guys know, I busted my shoulder, but I do have some things coming down the pipeline. I plan on linking up with a known editor this summer, possibly, and we have some things that we're going to be doing. If not, if that doesn't work out, I got some other things. So things will be coming down the pipeline on this channel. Thank you guys. A lot of you guys have became a member. I greatly appreciate that. A lot of you guys have donated right now. I greatly appreciate that. But if we could, put the focus on, for me, I mean, I'm a grown man, and I was a grown man when I agreed to go with Adventures with Purpose and the things that I experienced. Let's wrap our arms around those who were young, and all these people, who had these egregious acts happen to them, which shaped their lives, their perception, everything. Almost that.
No, understandably so, and you have every right to be upset.
Dang, I'm a father.
I can vouch he's a father. He's a good one.
I have to stop it here because, and I know a lot of people like to just let it play, but I caught from this that Sam was emotional thinking about these sexual crime victims. 9 years old, allegedly, right? He was getting emotional there, and his son caught on to it because Kyler can't tell me that he didn't know that. He just threw some humor in there to try to lighten up the moment because he saw his dad. And that was, again, another hero moment for a son looking out for the best interests of his father. So pretty powerful right there. I'm going to back it up just a little bit to right here.
Acts happen to them which shape their lives, their perception, everything. Almost that.
No, understandably so, and you have every right to be upset.
Dang, I'm a father.
I can vouch he's a father. He's a good one too. So
I'm working on it. And anyway, on that note, this live stream is pretty much over. That's all I have to say. In a nutshell, all you guys that have apologized, I accept. It's not about me right now. We need to shift the focus and give other people a safe place where they can speak. Did I know? Absolutely not. I did not know. This last year, it was hard. It was depressing. I did lose a lot of friends. I lost a lot of money. As you guys know, now that I've been through the ringer. And again, Dan also says that he did not know. I believe he's in the comments. So if you guys are, curious and, web super sleuths, I'm sure you can, go through the comments and see where Dan has said something. And Dan, if you post something on
comment section.
Yeah, the comment section after this video, I'll make sure to pin it. Yeah. I'll pin your statement. And other than that, like I said, I do not condone violence in any way, shape, or form, especially sexual violence in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not concerned about saying it. If I get demonetized for this video, it's whatever.
Brock would also like people to know he didn't know. Brock the Rock also like people to know he didn't know about it.
Okay. Brock would also like to let people know. Brock, I don't know if you want to call in real quick. Maybe you can call in on Kyler's live. If you don't, no worries. But Brock the Rock says that he didn't know anything about it. I could vouch for these guys, good dudes. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Let's, as a community, wrap our arms around those who are coming forward. Give them strength. Pray for one another. Keep your children safe. Follow your gut. I followed my gut. Especially after my son was like and punched me in the gut with what he saw. I was desensitized, and I'll admit that I was desensitized. With the things, the camera stuff, I started to become desensitized. And plus, when he came is when things got really bad. Around that time, big money was coming in, so things got really, really bad. Let's go ahead and jump over to Kyler's channel. So if you want to go ahead and start your live, and it's Kyler Ginn. So we're going to go ahead and finish that. Kyler say his piece over on his channel if you guys are interested in following that. And again, we're separating the two because he has some things to say. Like, again, the reason we're doing this is because Kyler wants to make sure that he's saying his thing as an.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to queue up Kyler's statement. They had some audio issues, so please grin and bear that. I'm going to actually go forward past the audio issues, but this is going to be Kyler's statement. Let me see how far back I got to go. It's a little bit shaky and a little bit. They were having audio issues because they didn't have a mic, and people in the chat were saying that they couldn't hear them. So let me cue this up and then I'll play it for you. Hold on. I'm hoping that I got it at the right spot. So this is now Kyler's story. His what happened with him and what caused him to leave in the middle of a trip that he went out with his dad. So let me see if I can get this to the point where they work through the audio issues.
Trying to go off, but memory of it, of how he spoke about his fan. One question in particular.
Volume
Better. Okay.
Okay, it's better. So just go ahead and go with what you have.
Okay.
To say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now
Joining AWP. Man, as if this wasn't a hard enough thing. Okay. So I wanted to join AWP and go with you guys because I thought it sounded like a fun thing.
Yeah.
And I never really traveled that
much
part
better.
Of the country.
It's good.
Okay.
Now.
Anyways, so I go and I meet up with you in Nashville. And so I, on purpose, what?
Your thumb's holding. Make sure your thumbs doesn't cover the camera.
Okay. So I, on purpose, did not watch Adventures with Purpose videos before going there because I didn't want to know these guys, meaning, you know, Dan and Jared, as being YouTubers. I just wanted to meet them.
Yeah, you don't have a preconceived notion.
I didn't want any preconceived notions because I honestly wasn't really that into true crime videos. And then two, I just really wanted to meet them. So I didn't really have much, whatever. So I meet everybody. Everybody seems kind of decent, at first. It's just, whatever. So there's one day, I don't remember. It was like a couple of days into the trip where, also, I'm going to say all this stuff I'm saying is alleged and my opinion for legal reasons.
You're saying that for legal reasons.
For legal reasons, everything I'm saying is the way I remember it.
Yeah, the volume's good, so I think we can put it back.
Okay, put it back.
Yeah, volume's good. We're gonna put this back real quick while you're talking, and I don't think you have to scream as much. Just make sure you project your voice.
Okay. Anyways, so a couple of days into the trip, so I've been kind of getting to know everybody a little, and I remember Jared was in like I said, this is all my opinion, but Jared was in the front seat and he was driving. And so I decided I was going to go up and talk to him and pick his brain a little bit because he was an interesting person to me. Like, why wouldn't he be? He has a YouTube channel. He has all this stuff. So I go and I start to talk to him. And one question in particular, and what I remember asking was, I asked him why he got into YouTube. And now most people, when they get into YouTube, they say, oh, it's because I like something, or, oh, it's because I was doing something already and thought it'd be fun to share it with an audience. But he told me that he got into it for money. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, I knew it was profitable. And so for me, that was kind of a weird thing, but I didn't think too much about it. I was kind of like it's a little, whatever, but that's not that big of a deal. So that was kind of the first red flag. And then the second red flag was hearing how he spoke about his fans and the nature he spoke about his fans and the some of the other, I'm not going to mention any names, but other people that were coming out to help us. He was really speaking about them as if they weren't humans or people. And I recall him saying, he said it in a joking tone, but it didn't come off as a joke to me. He said that if people didn't give his money to him, they would just be wasting it anyways.
On something else.
Yeah, on something else. And that was something he just said. And I think the other people might have heard that and thought it was kind of a joke, but that kind of stuck with me because I was like, well, that's, not whatever, but whatever. And then, so it was kind of on my mind a little bit. And then I have a vivid memory. This is my memory of it. Of us, I'm not going to say the case. We've been working a case, and two little old ladies came up to us. And they asked Jared, they're like, hey, do you have money for gas? And these ladies, I don't like to judge anyone based off appearance solely, but these old ladies appear to be modest in
Very
nature,
modest.
very modest. Some would even, they did not look like they were well-to-do. And he said, yes, we need gas money. And he, they handed him $50. And I also want to know, at this point, he had bragged to me a little about some of the money he was making. So
Yeah. So listen up closely here, guys, because this is telling right here. This is really telling.
I was already, it was like a red flag. So he takes the $50 or whatever that they give him, and he goes and he stuffs it in the door of the RV, the pocket. And it has the most loose money I'd ever seen in my life, like thousands of dollars. I'd never seen that much loose money. So at that point, my alarm's starting to go off. But I'm just really, so that was, I think, the night before. That was the day before I left, I think. So then the last day, we're working a case, and this case is I'm not going to say the case. I don't want to say any names. If they ever want to speak about things, they can. But this case allegedly involved some of the most horrific things you could ever think of happening to a person.
Cult stuff.
It was cult stuff.
Cult related.
And like involving rituals and like
sacrifice.
Yeah, all just the worst stuff you could ever think of. And we are told the story. We are shown pictures to back up the claim. So immediately, I'm just like,
yeah, you're in a bad spot.
We're in a bad spot.
Not comfortable with that.
I'm not comfortable with that. But it was like, to me, take the cult stuff and all that stuff away, because I've never experienced that. But to me, part of the thing is I have experienced death in my life. I have, as many people have, I've experienced, family members. I've experienced friends that have,
You've had a lot of close friends.
I've had close friends pass away. So I don't take it lightly. And to me, handling people that are grieving and dealing with the death is a very sacred kind of intimate thing. So to me, it was like, then to hear how it was their son had been murdered, allegedly. It was, to me, this is like, oh my gosh, this is the most sacred situation possible. So we're out on the case, and I remember we're out looking for the person, and we go to a spot where we're looking, and it clearly, anybody who had been working the case would know there's no chance of the person being here. They were, filming and whatever. And I asked about it, and I was told that it was for show. We have a show to make. So I was like, why are we here? And I was told, oh, well, we have a show to make. And immediately I got sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I actually would sometimes say, so Jared, is this a show day or a actual search day? What are we doing today? That's a real thing.
And to me, though, being told that when I'm over here with my whole heart into what we're doing made me just want to puke. Like, honestly. Mm-hmm. So then that night,
because these people, this is not a show for them at all.
No,
this is real life.
No,
this is real life.
No, it was never told to people I saw. They were never told that that there was places being searched just because it was good content. Interesting. So I was absolutely, sick about that. So I remember that night. So at this point, I'm already sick. So we go back, and it's an older elderly couple, and we go and tell them that we were unable to find their son, and that we'd have to either, I don't remember if we were going to try again or something. I don't remember. It was something. I was there, and I was told, it's hard for me to even talk about, but the old man was crying, and I didn't film. I did not want to go, because I was helping filming. I did not want to go up close to him, and I turned the camera away because he was crying, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And then I got accosted for missing what was called the money shot.
Ugh.
And at that point, I just ended up storming out, because I like, to me, seeing this couple who's the last, I think, 30 years of their life had been affected or something like that by this, crying and then wanting this camera shoved in their face, it just made me sick. Like, I was no, I couldn't handle it. So I go out, and my dad, he notices, and we go out and we talk in the RV, and I tell him exactly how I feel about everything that's been going on, and I'm crying and yelling at him, and we had a falling out, but
we got into it, and also some things that had to do with me personally between he and I came up, which ended up being a good thing because we were able to discuss things later and come to a better point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's fair to put out. But yeah, so we had a falling out over this, and I left. I was in, I'm gonna say where I was, I might give things away, but I was in the middle of Kansas. I called a taxi. Middle of Kansas. No, I don't know where I am. Like, and that made also all the other stuff crazier. But,
can I butt in?
Yeah.
So we were 20, right?
Yeah.
All right. So imagine this: a broke 20-year-old in the middle of Kansas on this what is sold to be this awesome trip. Hey, let's go across the country, see all these things. Broke 20-year-old says, "Screw it, Dad! I am buying my own taxi, getting my own hotel, getting my own airfare, and I'm leaving tomorrow." This was who he is and where he was.
No, because he kept saying, "Oh, we'll just stay tonight. We can drop you off or something." I'm like, "No, I'm done."
Yeah, he was done. It was no hangout. Well, hey, Kyler, we just hang out. We can drop you off. He's not. I want to be gone from this as soon as possible. And he left in a taxi cab. And then I was, even though he and I got into it over some things, that was a very proud dad moment.
Yeah,
in a big way. Even though we had our little moment, I was proud of yes and yes. I want to be like him.
Well, eventually you kind of were, but anyway, so I left. I've told people it was funny to me that one of the worst nights of my life was in Kansas. Like, as someone who'd never even been there, that was just ironic. But yeah, so anyways, I leave, I go, I get I fly home, whatever. Me and you, we don't really talk much for a little while.
Yeah, for a couple months.
For a couple months, which for us, that's a long time. Like, I mean, at this point, we talk on the phone almost every day. But I mean, even then, like, that's a long time. So at this point, I leave, and then fast forward a little bit, you leave, and I was so relieved when he left. I felt like a weight in our relationship had been lifted because I just saw you out there with who at this point, I haven't even gone into detail on some things because I don't think it's whatever. But at this point, I had thought Jared was already the most evil person I met. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that had to do with how he was selling himself as a poor person and taking advantage of people. And I was able to do some math and just knew it wasn't accurate.
And he was braggy. He showed us that he was braggy. He was, "Oh, look at how good I'm doing." It was weird.
Anyways, so I was really happy when you left. I actually ghost wrote part of when you were talking to Jared because I remember when the things happened between him and Jared, he really just was done with the situation. You were upset.
I was pissed.
He was super mad.
You actually said that, hey, Dad. Because first off, I thought that why did I stay around so long? I actually thought that I could steer the ship.
Yes,
I didn't know that Jared was this bad of a dude, and so my first check was, all right, well I'm just gonna see if he even respects me, and by talking in terms of money because that's what he understands. And if I know that I have his respect, then during the trip, I'll come forward and I'll talk to him about everything else that's going on, mm-hmm. talk to him about my heart. I was really hoping that I would be able to open up to the guy and really steer this thing, in a better way. And things weren't that bad at first, but they kept getting nastier and nastier. He came in at a nasty moment.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I thought I could steer the ship, but in the end, no, I couldn't. There was because Jared very much presented it all. Sam, this is me and you, man.
I actually, I don't know if you remember, but he was ready to just dip. I told him to check. I was like, you should text him and see if he even respects you.
Yeah, I had originally sent him an FU text.
He hadn't sent it. You typed it. You sent it to me. You sent it to me to say.
I typed it because Kyler at this point, we're kind of talking back and forth because we're open about our experience with AWP. And so I said, hey, Kyler, this is what I'm going to be sending to Jared. And then Kyler was like, wait, maybe you should try to talk to him and see.
Yeah, because I honestly, this is my thought. If Dad sent Jared an FU text, I thought, one, you would look like a bad guy and it'd give him some whatever. And I actually thought, I knew Jared was going to tell you to screw off. I, in my heart of hearts, felt that, but I thought you needed to know that.
All right, cool.
Like, I thought that you needed to see what kind of person he was. So I kind of ghost wrote a nice little whatever text, and it was about, just wanting his respect and some of the stuff. And you were told to screw off. So that happened. Are you going through looking for it?
Yeah, actually, I found the text that after he did tell me to screw off, I did send the text, and I said, honestly, over time, I felt like you haven't valued me, my well-being, or respected my thoughts or options. Or opinions rather. Let me back that up. Slow my reading. Honestly, over time, I felt like you haven't valued me, my well-being, or respected my thoughts or opinions. You kind of have a King Jared mentality. You seem to look down on others, whether they are female, minority, poor, or anything other than you. Even an ignorant coal miner, as you have referred to blank, I'm not going to mention the person's name. I can only imagine what you say about me when I'm not there. Mm-hmm. You tell half-truths to your wife. If you are not honest with your mate, you won't be honest with me. I love helping the families and doing good in the world, but I was doing that long before YouTube and long before recognition. You do good because it's marketable. Valor seems to mean nothing to you. After 2 years of hanging out with you, I've grown to dislike you. So I did. I toned it down a little bit because I was heated, but I did end up sending him the text after I didn't have the initial handshake saying, "Hey man, let's see if we can work something out." Mm-hmm. My thought was we'd be able to work something out, and then on that trip, I'd have 40 plus days to work on him and talk to him and say, "Hey man," and I thought I could steer the ship, into a positive direction. But boy, was I wrong.
And I honestly thought I think you had been blinded by I don't know how many months of knowing the guy. Mm-hmm. I had just came in and kind of saw how he was at that moment when I came in.
Yeah. So I was starting to
get lulled to sleep by it.
Yeah, being a little desensitized, and I'll admit to that. I certainly was a little desensitized. There were certain things that I would not have crossed, and things were starting to swell up in my gut when I could just feel that gut feeling, saying get away.
I'm going to stop it right here. Wild Z Pony, you said it well. You took the words right out of my mouth. Kyler is wise beyond his years. I mean, that comment couldn't ring more true in this situation. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone positively engaging here. You guys are really what makes this an unbelievably great place to be. And I give thanks and praise to each and every one of you.
And then Kyler got away, and then it was like, yeah, I definitely need to get away. And then finally I did.
And I wanted to speak slightly to me getting away. This was something like that when I thought about it, sounded amazing because one, I like scuba diving. That's like some of my passion. If I could do that professionally somehow, whether that's for YouTube or something, that'd be a dream of mine. It involves helping people. It was just, there were so many things about this that sounded amazing to me. And I just was like, I couldn't overlook how he was and how things were going. So it wasn't an easy, it was easy, but it wasn't like something I wanted to do. Like, it was like, I have to. That's why I just left the way I did, because it was like, I have to leave.
Just pull off the Band-Aid and leave.
Yeah. So, I will say there have been people that have over this process harassed me. I've had people call me names. I've had people harass me and call my dad names. Most of those comments just end up getting deleted, but they're there. And I am honestly so relieved that is seemingly, at least involving that situation, is behind us. There's always going to be people that hate and troll, but I will say the hardest moment for me to stay quiet in all this was when you left and he was trashing you on that community post. to watch somebody with a platform that big trash your father, who you know is not any of the things he was saying, and really wasn't active as he could have been with YouTube at that time, just because he wanted to spend time with me and my brother and sister. That like made me so angry. And then the fact that I couldn't say anything without just looking like I was.
So the big thing in the text or his post was he attacked me as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It was an entrepreneur attack, like it was all about money. And for him, maybe it was. And it certainly seems that way.
Yeah, so that was really hard. It was really hard to stay quiet then. And then it's been, as I've had this YouTube channel for over a year, it's been hard for me not to say things because I'm watching who I, in my heart of hearts, before even knowing these allegations, thought was one of the most evil human beings I'd ever encountered, be praised as a hero and lauded. And I would get sad when somebody would come over and say something about AWP or like something, because I'm like, oh, they're still kind of in the.
But plus, people probably he was in some AWP videos.
Yes, I was.
Probably, oh man, have you ever even seen the AWP videos you were in?
I have not watched the AWP videos. I have had friends. So after I left AWP, I had friends reach out to me because they saw the videos I was in. I had never seen them. I didn't have a desire to watch them. To me, that was a chapter of my life I didn't want to relive through video. So, yeah. So, but my point I was getting at was I am just happy that chapter of having to deal with not being able to defend you the way I wanted to is now over.
Yeah.
To not speak out and say something is over. I'm glad that everyone right now is getting their chance to talk, and I hope that more people come forward and, you know, any victims of Jared come forward, you know, whether survivors, whether it's the people he's molested or the people he took advantage of. Allegedly molested.
We're saying that for legal purposes.
Or the people he allegedly took advantage of that I witnessed. I hope they come forward. I hope they come forward. I mean, this is someone who has been, in my opinion, a menace to society, like as a whole. He's affected people on every level of, you know, like, you know, he's affected grandparents. He's affected little kids. Apparently he's affected like this. Everybody. So I hope that, there will be some justice served and that people that have been struggling with this are able to find some peace. And I pray for all the people that have been negative, like all the people outside of, you know, him that have been negatively affected by this situation.
A menace to society. This is a young 21-year-old man who's giving you his view, his bird's eye view of what he experienced. That is powerful. I mean, if you don't feel that that's a powerful statement, I don't know what planet you're living on, but that is freaking powerful. As a retired New York City police detective and a father of two sons, a little bit older than Kyler, that's powerful, man. Let's let the rest of this play.
So, yeah, I don't really have too much more to say as a whole. He's affected the people. People come forward and, you know, any victims of Jared come forward, you know, whether it's survivors, whether it's the people he's molested or the people he took advantage of. Allegedly molested.
We're saying that for legal purposes.
Or the people he allegedly took advantage of that I witnessed. I hope they come forward. I hope they come forward. I mean, this is someone who has been, in my opinion, a menace to society, like as a whole. He's affected people on every level of, you know, like, you know, he's affected grandparents. He's affected little kids. Apparently he's affected like this. Everybody. So I hope that, there will be some justice served and that people that have been struggling with this are able to find some peace. And I pray for all the people that have been negative, like all the people outside of, you know, him that have been negatively affected by the situation. So, yeah, I don't really have too much more to say. There's other stories, other things I get into, but
Yeah.
you
So-
guys.
So
get to-
can I ask you a couple
yeah, you can ask me
questions?
some questions.
Because I know, just to clear things up, did you know or have any pre-knowledge of the things that were brought forth in these indictment charges, or this indictment? Did you know about it?
No, I did not. And if I had, you would have seen a video on Kyler Ginn's channel titled something I can't even say here, but it would have been
Yeah, it's your channel, so I can't say it either.
No, we've been calling him some names, which
You could say it here, Kyler. You could come on and say it here anytime you want.
I honestly, there's okay, I don't like call people names, but once you get to the level that he allegedly has gotten to, the gloves are off. You can just whatever. No, I did not know about anything. I knew about other stuff, but to me, I knew that with my limited platform, and if I came forward with this other stuff, it just wouldn't even. I felt as if it would not help anything.
Yeah, and just real quick, may I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, with nearly 5,000 people, live and in this live stream, I just want to, publicly say, I really respect you, Kyler, for it. And I respected that when you walked away. Me and you, we had our issue. We were getting into it, but I respected you, and I respect you as a man. I just want to, I love you, and you're an awesome dude. I'm looking forward to, to you being the kids of my grandbabies one day.
Parent to your grandbabies, yes.
Yeah, excuse me, the parent.
Yes.
I said that wrong, but the parent.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a great dude, man. I'm proud of you. And I know it took a lot of heart. You're a young guy, and right now social media is hot, Twitter's hot, all these things are hot. But you were like, I'm out. You stuck to your morals, you stuck to your guns. You were the for me, you were definitely a big part in helping me to open my eyes. The canary in the coal mine, and I'm proud of you. And I'm proud. And I'm just I love you, and I'm proud of you.
The day after I appreciate that. The day when I got home, I posted a Bible verse, and I'm gonna quote it within. I can give you the gist of it. The gist is, what is a man to gain if? It's basically something that goes to the point of, what is it if a man gains the whole world if he loses his own soul? And I left Adventures with Purpose knowing my soul was intact and I hadn't sacrificed that. And that's something I will never give up for fame, money. Like, my soul is never for sale to anyone. That's something I will stand on forever. So if there's any buyers out there, I'm sorry, off the market. But yeah, and that it is. Wow, I have a lot of feelings of disgust, anger, but I definitely do have a feeling of vindication that I see some sort of justice is being served in this situation, and I hope it continues to go in that direction. So I don't really have much more to say on that.
And our hearts with
Yes.
all of you, all those who've been affected, whether it's small or monumentous. We stand with you. I think that, Kyler, you stand with
I stand with any victim of sexual assault or violence of any kind. So these victims, you're in my prayers nightly. I hope that you're able to find some peace, and I just pray that God puts his arms around you. And that's all I can say to that.
Good job, Kyler.
All right,
Love you, man.
love you too.
Yeah, you did good.
All right, thank you.
Feel better?
Yeah, I honestly feel like I just got a lot off my chest.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'd like to shout out my mom who's in the chat. I love you, Mom. Everybody else who's been supportive, I appreciate it.
And thanks for being here, as my son could speak and tell his truth, and get this off of his chest. He's been holding back for the last year and a half, 2 years.
I would almost every time I'd go on a live, I would definitely have moments when I'd go in a live stream and be like, is this the day I just
snap and tell everyone?
Just snap and tell everybody how horrible this person is.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but you did good though. You held it together until.
Yes, I knew that
appropriate time.
I knew that it wouldn't help anybody. So yeah. Anyways.
And what's your channel about, by the way?
To the people who are just tuning in, my channel is titled Kyler Ginn, which is my name. And it's really about the things I go do, and which is a lot of the stuff is scuba diving. There's other just fun videos, but a lot of it's just scuba diving, environmental cleanups, stuff like that. Stuff if you watched his channel when he was putting out content, it's a lot. It's pretty similar.
So there's stuff coming.
There's stuff coming. Okay, when he was putting it out at a higher clip. So if you like scuba diving or just fun stuff in general, I do have a dive video coming out. But that's pretty much what my channel is. But that's not really what this is about to me at this moment. But yeah. So you think anything you'd like to say in closing? Because I think this will be probably the last time. This is the last time I talk about the situation like this.
Yeah.
So is there anything we need to get
say.
off our chest?
No, we just, this was brought to our doorstep. People were asking, did you guys know? Kyler was there for, a period of time. And also he had to come out and, speak his truth. And thank you guys for hearing his truth. And I'm proud of you, for, you instantly felt it was off. It took me a little longer than you, but I got there. There were certain lines I wasn't ready to cross, and you just snipped it out much quicker than I did. And like I said, I'm proud of you. And guys, again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hearing what Kyler had to say. Thank you, for supporting good people out there doing good things. And let's wrap our arms around those that have been affected in a negative way.
All right.
Let's shift the focus to those people who need it in a big way.
Exactly.
In a big way.
Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it. I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and thank you for allowing me the chance to speak my heart and my truth. Remember, this is my perspective and no one else's. So, yeah, I'll see you all on the next one.
So there you have it, folks. That was the video in its entirety. I promised you 2 days ago that I would play all of the videos from Sam the Adventure Man and his son. Some of the takeaways: my soul is not for sale. And another takeaway that was very powerful to me: Jared from Adventures with Purpose is a menace to society. That was powerful. I mean, you're hearing it from a young man at the time when he witnessed the behavior that he saw, 20 years old. So he's a strong young man for coming on, mature many years beyond his age. And I tip my cap to him, because public speaking before the public, speaking in front of 5,000 people in your live stream is not an easy thing to do. I've got over 1,000 of these under my belt. So speaking to an audience of any size, whether it's small or large, I really don't, it doesn't affect me. But when I first started doing it, it was difficult. It was difficult. So I give a lot of credit to Kyler, to Sam the Adventure Man. He says that public speaking is not his thing, but he delivered a very clear and concise message. And that clear and concise message was delivered. And I am going to link Kyler's channel. It's already linked in the description, and also Sam the Adventure Man. I implore you guys to go over and support these two people, the father and son team, respectfully on their YouTube channels. And Sam said that he is going to be getting together and putting out some content. So I thank them for their message. I thank them for enlightening us. I mean, again, you could take this for what it's worth. And I say that, everybody's going to have their own opinions on situations. But this to me is damning. It is damning. So if this is not powerful, if this message is not send a loud and clear message to you, then, again, everybody has their own opinion. I want to just take a moment to ask each and every one of you to take the time out to give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe. The red subscribe button is free. Watch the replays, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this. Also, if you have nothing respectfully to say in regards to this conversation, like, I listen to both sides of the fence. I'm just presenting you guys with this information. If you want to, engage in this community, it has to be done respectfully. Each and every one of us have our own opinions. Voice them respectfully, and you're able to do that here. Once you disrespect any of my guests or the people I feature on my channel or myself or others, then that's crossing the line. So again, I give thanks and praise to the moderators, the replay viewers, the subscribers, the new subscribers, the old subscribers, and everything in between. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who tunes in to this live stream. I like to end these by saying, God bless the world, God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially the victims, their families. They need us now more than ever, because those are the folks who are going through this. Thank you so much from New York City for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend wherever you are, and we'll talk soon. Peace and love from DutyRon.